Hello. Okay, me again. Okay, um, I have to remove. Um, Sorry, there were a bunch of applications open, so I had to manage them. And then, okay, so I'm gonna work on the code that I have here. I'm gonna be trying to do what I was trying to do. Very good. Okay, let's go. Continue. How do we go on? Um, Okay, I was trying to make a thing work in tiling system. Um, okay, corners, these things are not gonna be called. The player vision. Okay, so player vision also. Okay, let's go through this thing. There is the hits. There is g.w map platforms, items, length, hits. There is the update vision zone. So the left is player position, player position. So player position is absolute. As a global position, it's okay. Maybe I should rename things to global and local position, like absolute position or local position, so that I can remember. For example, there is a position of player, which is a global position, and there is a platform position, which is a local position. Maybe later, I guess, if it's necessary. Okay, and then the allocator, player vision, player position. Okay, what are we doing here? are updating the vision zone. Now we increase the ID. Okay, this is okay. Corners, tries the array list corners into unit capacity. Okay. Player position minus vision R. Player position minus plus vision R max position. Okay. So we want to create, we want to get the indices of the minimum and maximum I and j of the tiles. Okay then, thing. Here though, it has to be divided by tile size. Tile size, click to F. Tile size, click to F. And then here I have to go with tile number X, tile number Y. Now here it says g.wmap.grid. Grid doesn't exist. Tile set. And I have to go through the tile set items. I need an iterator. I need to create iterator, which is equal to g.wmap the tile set the iterator. And then I say for iterator okay, now I want the key, and I remember, I think it was entry. Was it while, or I don't remember which loop should I use here. I think it's while. I'm gonna use just in case. And then we'll put the value of iterator in entry each time. And then this entry has two things. There is a key PTR pointer to the key and a pointer to the value. And we don't want to go through all the tiles. This is long. What should I do instead is to, yeah, this is bad. So each tile has a 1 PID. So there is no need for this loop to exist at all. I don't need the iterator anymore. I need here, I need to say if g.wmap that file that file set that get and then I need to pass J and K. And then if it's valid, means if it's not null, do all of these things that are here. Okay, here I have to put a value for this thing. So it's gonna return to me a tile. Very good. So it's gonna get the tile there in the position of JK, if there is any. And then here, this tile has a PID or platform ID, tile dot platform ID. Platform ID. Okay. The PID, I'm gonna put tile dot platform ID. Okay, tile dot platform ID. So that should be okay. I guess I'm gonna see if there's an error. I get to do that. But this is not, okay. This is not good. Okay, so here I'm trying to check all the tiles from the corner to the other corner of the, from top left corner of this vision square that I have to the bottom right corner of the vision square, which is not good. What I need to do is to I need to cast array. So to do exact calculation of the array cast instead of this. To do that, let me think. What should we do? We calculate the position of the player in which tile it is. Like we find where is the position of player in terms of tile index. So for example, okay, here I put const position index is equal to vec2i, yeah, position divided by world map tile size. Okay, I have the position index. Now what do? I don't need to loop through all of these indices anymore. Instead, I will do, so all of this code is unnecessary. Okay, now we have the position index of the player. Um, Now we have to go through all the platforms that exist within this. Ooh, that's the thing now. Okay, I see. Right? No, I don't need to do that because I am saving the platform ID in the thing, but then how do I do? Okay, so the tiling system, there's something that is, I have to go through all the platforms. Um, to find those platforms that are colliding with the vision. And then do the calculation with the collision. And cast the ray to the corners of this platform, I guess. I guess that's the thing that I need to do. So in the special grid, we had the grid to check on only the platforms that are inside the grid, not all the platforms. But here in tiling system, we don't have awareness of those platforms anymore. So yeah, okay, I have to go through all the platforms. I mean, it's a loop through all the platforms, but then the thing that is less costly here is that I will cast array with like 20, 25. So I've chosen an 8 pixel Titan system. It's very small, and still I will just do 25 checks for each tile, and then I will have the complete ray cast, like raycast algorithm. Whereas in the special grid system, I had to do check with all the platforms inside the grid. So I guess there are some gains or losses, but each system is different. Right here. So I have to loop through all the platforms, and then I loop through all the platforms. To do that, I need to do 4. Okay. Nope, not that. So all of this calculation should be inside this loop. Very good. Okay. So I need these calculations for minimum position and maximum position for the square of f of v. Normally f of v is like a circle, but here we do the circle thing inside the We fix it and make it circle inside the shader. Here we just do it as a simple square because it's just easier to a square. Clear position. Okay. I think this is F, by the way. F2, F1. Okay. I can say causing the Okay, so these are defined. Now what do we do next? So we have to first see if the index position is like this. No, but yeah. So here, position, where is the main position, max position? I think I have to check for the no, I don't have to check for the. Do I have to check for the screen size? I think I have to check for the screen size. I need to define them as variables. Is equal to pose. Sorry, this should be maximum. Min pose and this is 0. Okay, very good. minimum of exactly that. Very good. Now we define the indices based on this max and min position. And then we define the index and here. I guess I have to do the position of player also like this. Why? Okay, here I have to put this is not a constant, this is a variable again. And then this should be probably -1, 2 -1. And then this one in position 0 is between that and then again in position exactly. Yeah, I don't want the indices of player position to be outside of the world. I mean, it doesn't matter if they exist there because how do I define here? Here it's here. File set. Okay, it's a vec2i. Very good. So I can't just ignore all of this because yeah, the tile. Yeah, it will. It will player position. Won't matter, I guess. I mean, I can just leave them as comments for now. Maybe we need them later. Now, what do I do next? I have the player tile position. I have the minimum and maximum of the player's vision position. Now, I'm not actually sure if the minimum index and maximum index are needed, but for now, I'm gonna leave them as comments again. I think the position of the player only is needed as an index to start the tiling, to start the recasting from this tile, basically. Now, here we have to calculate. Okay, so first thing we have to see if here we have to see if the platform overlaps player vision where first Okay, how do we do that? We I think I did it somewhere. In Pro. I do platform, I do calculate left, right, top, bottom, and I put a condition and then I throw them. Okay. Here I would calculate left for each platform. To do that, I have platform position. So platform, I will rename it to P. Here, I guess P position 0. I multiply it by tile size exactly, and tile size, the player vision, and 0. Okay. Why does this work? Or does it work here too? Okay. So I am doing this top. Top should be exactly minus the top is the maximum of the platform position. This vision R or the 0. Okay, this is the right one. And this is the left bottom one. I'm gonna trust it because it was working. I think I'm not gonna need any of them. Who knows? Okay, so I will have a loop here. What does this loop do? I will check if the left is less than right. That's correct. Top is less than bottom. I should keep this if. And then yeah, and then cast the platforms. These are the platforms. Okay, I should create a list of platforms, I guess. By the way, vision radius should be either divisible to 8 or it should be in tile size. It should be indexed, so I'm gonna multiply vision radius to, yep, And then I would have to do that in draw as well. Okay. And then go to here where I'm defining region R here. 200 is too big now. So to cover 225 times 8 is, yeah, 25 that times 8 is like 200. Hi, salut. I don't know if you mean it like a French or just a salute in English. Welcome to the stream, John 7K. I thought you were French. Oh, okay, so I understand a little bit French. I live in France and I'm learning French. J'ai pris le cours français, mais je comprends pas très bien. Je peux pas parler très bien. Something like this. That makes sense for you. Tu as bon accent. Thank you. That means a lot. Thank you. So the problem is that I need to. So my girlfriend is French, and uh, from time to time, we try to speak French so that I can get used to it. It's not your native language too. You're Brazilian. Oh, okay. Okay. So in Brazil, you speak Portuguese, I believe. Am I right? Or I mean, that should be. That's yeah. Okay. Is it different? I assume there should be some difference in how they speak with the one that is spoken in Portugal. Like there should be some accent differences and stuff. There's a huge difference in our accents. Okay. And top list and bottom. Yeah, French girlfriend, nice. I have her French too. Yeah, okay. Is it because of her you're learning French too? You know French too, or there was a different reason? I hope I'm not intruding, by the way. No, I learned because of literature. Oh, okay. And then I knew her after. Okay. Speak about all kind of subjects. Oh, okay. Very cool. Yeah. Since you mentioned literature, do you read novels and books, or do you prefer poetry? Do you want to speak more about your project and your channel? Yes. So I'm trying to do. Um, it's a 2D platformer basically, and but it's not exactly a 2D platformer. I mean, it's like a minimal effort to do some prototyping for 2D platformer in Zig and Raylib. It's just for me to understand some of the basic algorithms that are used to um, to design the minimal stuff that is required to make 2D platformer work. And then I did the project in different system like a spatial grid. So if you see in the description, there should be two links. There is one for Zigray, which is the spatial grid, and there is the one that I'm trying to do right now, which is the second link to my GitHub. I'm gonna I'm trying to update this to a tiling system. So instead of having a big grid, well, where multiple platforms could be inside it, here I'm using a tiling system where the tiles are very small, like 8 pixel or 16 pixel, and then I consider this tile for collision and casting ray. Um, Instead of having a special grid where there are multiple platforms and in each grid cell there you already put the which platforms have a overlap with each grid, so that you can, if you want to do the calculation with the collision and raycasting, you don't have to go through all the platforms and stuff. So it's like you know it's it's like an effort to try to do a little bit of efficiency while considering all these platforms and stuff. Something like that. So, and now, for example, this is the function that I'm trying to fix for my vision. I wrote this for special grid, but this now I'm trying to change it. That's why there is a lot of comments here. These are some of them I've used some of these lines before. I have to comment them because they are not useful anymore, or some of them I wrote them right now. I don't know. Like I'm trying to change it, so I'm not sure what will be useful and what will not be useful. So that's all of those things. Um, yeah, if you're familiar with game design and stuff, all of what I said would be um, familiar to you, like the vision raycasting stuff. These are the like standard stuff that you have to do to make a game have like your player have a some kind of a lighting system in the environment. Yeah, that's cool. Yeah. Ok, on va continuer. We'll continue. So there is, I assume I'm not gonna need this anymore. Again, these are the lines that okay, this one is the one that I'm not sure. I guess so. Now that I know the platform has overlap with the player vision box, now I have to cast a ray from player to each corner of this platform. To do that, I have to first go through, I have to get all the corners from this platform, and then append, actually I could just append them now and then do the casting later, which means I do not need this player position anymore. I will just populate the corners array list here. I will put all the corners that I care about in this array list. Which code editor are you using? I'm using Z. So there are multiple ones, but the one that is my favorite generally is NewVim. But the NewVim doesn't have this AI toolkit that Z has. It's really cool, this AI. It's for free. You don't have to pay for it. So for example, let me try to change something so that there's the AI here. So if I want to make this, yeah, okay, it's an automatic suggestion, but you can see it, like it suggests like some values here immediately, and you can, if I press Ctrl L, it immediately applies them, and you know, you can always have even more suggestions, and it automatically makes the code for you, and it's really helpful. It's really good. And Vim by yourself, I have to look at some of the new Vim. I have to look at some of the tutorials and stuff. Like there are some people who put their stuff in YouTube, and I have to ask some questions from AI, and then I can write the configuration in general. Because I don't remember, like it's like you do the configuration once, and then you don't have to do it for like a few months until there is some kind of update and some package is breaking, and then you would have to do it again. So, and I'm not a really, and I don't really know how Lua works. I don't do programming in Lua, so it's like you would have to use AI for that to ask the questions and stuff, or maybe some tutorial to learn some of the concepts. But tutorials are a little bit like they come after some months, after, like they're a bit later than usually what you could do with a for example, some AI, or just read some of the documentations that you find somewhere on some um, uh, new feature inside NewVim. So for example, there was this new feature recently that they added the LSP inside the NewVim. So the language servers and stuff, you could just configure them using the NewVim's own like native configuration stuff. So you don't have to have some other package from outside of NewVim, like third-party stuff, to do some of the tasks that NewVim can do now natively. So this was pretty new, and then the documentation didn't exist as much in the beginning, and then there was no, also AI is not updated as fast to consider those changes. So it took some time for me to realize the things to change. Uh, but you get the hang of it. Like I get the hang of it from time to time. I get to make it work. Yeah. But also Z, so for example, show you open key map file. So here my Z is also configured to be like a new Vim with all the configurations with the new Vim that I use in the new Vim. It's and I'm using Z instead of VS Code because Z has native support for new Vim stuff. It's much faster. And VS Code, I don't know. I found it more difficult to integrate my Vim style stuff there. Okay, so we have left, right, top, bottom. We have the tile set. Okay. These are not needed anymore. I will just add corners for this platform. Okay. For some reason, I feel like I'm speaking with a power user. Okay. I don't know what the power user means. What does it mean, by the way? Ah, okay. So it has a good meaning if you search. You will see. Yeah, yeah. I was. I was. I had a guess, but I wanted to be sure, so I searched for it. So I wouldn't call myself that. I think I'm more of a nerd on the nerd side, like somebody who likes stuff, but he doesn't have as much knowledge, but he's trying to do all those crazy stuff. But also, I'm not really willing to go really deep. Sometimes it depends on the occasion. Like for example, this thing is really interesting. I can do it, but then yeah, I wouldn't. Yeah, I would call myself more of a nerd. Yeah, but thank you. Okay, now here I am giving here instead of that I can just send left, top, right, and bottom. That would be much better, no? Left. Let's go top, right, bottom, left. Okay. And I have to do platform ID also. Okay. I mean, I just need the collision point of each platform. Hello, welcome back. One True Blue. Beginner in programming. Sorry for not following your thoughts. Oh, okay. Well, I'm sorry. I'm sorry too, because it, I'm also assuming that I'm a beginner, but there is always, like, in programming world, there is always some notion many people just don't understand. It's like every part, like, have their own world. It's really difficult to get into. There are some technical terms that yeah, you might not know, and you feel like you're lost. I feel that too when I'm listening to somebody else talking many times. I think it's a natural thing. But yeah, if you want to, if you're interested to learn, I mean, if you're interested to be able to at least search for it and know what we are talking about, you can mention it in the chat. I will try my best to um, let you know some of the stuff that I know. Yeah. Since I'm not revisiting the platforms when I'm doing vision, I don't think I need to put PAD, but okay, I'm just gonna leave it like this for now. I'm gonna change it later. I don't need the vision step ID anymore now. Okay. So there's a lot of comments here, but I will remove them later. I don't know if I need any one of them. Um, there is update hits. What does update hits do? I will check that later. Oh, okay, update hits is that it gets the corner, and then yeah, but the problem is that for update hits, I don't need the minimum index and maximum anymore. That's for grid, so we can just remove them. So update hit is like casting ray and finding hit points for each ray. Okay, here we get the corners. Corner. Okay, so for corner, instead of PID, I'm gonna do I am going to do some array. It was some array, which I'm gonna call it for. It's a constant array of 4 values, which are 32, and then I will name the variable as what should I call this? Sides, I guess. I don't need to put const, I guess. Okay. So, and here I don't need to do any calculation with respect to the platform ID anymore. I can just remove them. I have already left, right, top, bottom. I just need to put them the values. So top is the 0, I guess. So change left with sides. Left is 3, I guess. Or as I remember, sides. I put the top 0. Sides. Top is 0. Right is 1. Yes, okay. Left is 3. Bottom is 2. Right is 1. And bottom is 2. That's great. Here again, I don't need that. It's been done already. Okay, very good. Now, I do calculate the arctangent to this from player position to this platform corners that it's overlapping with the square corner. And then I'm creating 4 corners based on that, but then here I don't have a platform ID, by the way. Maybe I should put the platform ID. Let's put it just in case. The ID, it's a usize thing. And then get the corners. I will pass this array and I will pass the ID. The ID is not defined because I'm going through all the array list here. 0, and then here I will put the ID. That's the indices of our array list. PID. I will pass the index of each platform, get corners, and then get corners will do what it should do, which should be to return the corners of the platform by calculating their angle, like from player to stuff, and then there's a position for each corner. Okay, there's the max distance to cast further than radius. Okay, distance 2, and then I go through all the corners here. Okay, so for each corner I'm creating an offset corner basically to cast a ray, to cast offset rays, and then I will send back. So it would be like for each platform there are 4 corners, and for each one of the corners I will add 4. That would be 3 per each platform. It's like 12. 3 per each corner. That's like 12 per platform. Okay. Now that I have that, so this capacity should be, no, it's okay, this one. Okay. I can remove all of these comments, I guess. I'm not sure I'm gonna need them. Okay, this should return me corners. Now update hits. I will send the corners to it, and then the minimum index and maximum index are not needed anymore. Okay, very cool. I redo this vision step ID. I think I have to remove this vision step ID because I'm not repeatedly visiting some form. No. And then I go V that hits clear retaining capacity. I clear my hit list. Corners, items, corner. And then I go through the corners, each corner. I am creating the closest corner. And I put the corner itself there. Okay, this is good. And then I create, and I call the check vision collision. Okay. Check vision collision to hit the corner, and I am sending the closest. Okay. For PID 0. First, okay. So there is no need for indices anymore. And then there is no need for player indices anymore. And then here, okay, check the vision collision. I think I should test array. Why I do this? I don't remember why I do this thing. Check vision collision 0. Closest. Are you using Windows just out of personal preference, or is there some other reason? I'm using Windows because it's the only thing that I can use right now. I just bought the system, so I bought the system like a few weeks ago, 2 or 3 weeks ago, and that's why it has the potential to do the stream and stuff. That's why I'm using Windows. It was already on the system, and I'm using it. But honestly, I prefer Linux. But this system, the hard drive of this system is really small. I'm hoping to maybe in future I will buy a bigger hard drive and then I will install Linux alongside Windows. And like Windows is useful for some other stuff that I want to do, like for playing games and stuff. Um, it's just easier to do it in Windows. But then for coding, I just find it much more easier to do what I'm doing in Linux. Yeah, and the Windows is much more bloated. Like there is a lot of stuff that I really don't like about it visually. Like I don't know, like this thing type here to search. Like I don't need any of them. I just want to remove them. I don't know how to do it honestly. I don't really want to put time on it for now, but yeah, maybe someday I will try to find a way to. Yeah, and then this menu stuff. These are the things that I just don't find it interesting. There's this thing with Windows that it doesn't let you choose your own window manager. Like you cannot do that. I wish there was this thing for that as well for Windows. It would be more interesting. Like to have your own graphics, like the visual of the Windows. I wanted to have more control over it, but those don't exist. Um, Big Vision Collision. What do I do here? Let me check. So I get the PID and I get the corner and I get the closest. Very good. The corner is a constant. Closest is not constant. I get the collision, try get collision PID corner, and then I see if this collision is the closest one. And I write it down. Okay. So basically this is casting ray. I'm casting ray with check vision collision. I see. Okay, and then but the thing that I don't understand is that why do I do this check vision collision for each corner, and then I put the PID 0 here. The platform 0 is my vision platform. Okay, state vision zone here. Okay. Oh, by the way, I have to make this multiplied by, yeah. Okay. Why am I calling this? I don't remember why I did check vision collision. I put the platform ID 0 and I send the corner. It finds the collision for some PID corner. Okay, what does get collision do? Get collision does okay, it has the PID, it calculates the segments. Okay, it basically does the raycasting in the old formats. Okay, so basically this is doing cast ray. This is the casting ray thing, and it returns the collision. And what's the use for PID? So there is the corner. Corner is to corner itself has a PID. I don't understand what is the PID here. The second PID, because corner has its own PID. Why do I do two of them? Always naturally good at mathematics since before, or did you develop it over time? I liked math from beginning. So for childhood, I liked to do math. I don't remember if I was good at the beginning. I don't think it was that good at the beginning. Um, for example, I remember when I was like 6 or 7, like my mom tried to explain to me, like before going to school, why 2 times 3 becomes 6. And I would always say, okay, 2 plus 3 it becomes 5. What do you mean 2 times 3 becomes 6? I couldn't really understand. I really could clearly remember that. So it took it took time. Like I had to go to school and stuff to learn those things. Yeah, bit collision, PID, size. I really don't know what I'm doing here. I mean, what I have done, honestly. So I get the collision point, but what is this PID? I am checking the platform ID. I get the segments for each of those things. And then I do check if this corner, I see. I see. So I need the PID to check if I draw a vector from player position to the corner position, will if this vector will collide with any of the segments of the platform which has the PID. Yeah, okay. Obviously this needs to change because I don't need to pass in PID anymore. I'm gonna be doing so. Yeah, PID is not needed anymore because why do I not need the PID? Because I will go tile by tile. This is the tile system, so I will calculate what is the next tile to go, like it's a step-by-step thing, and I keep track of the ray like as we go instead of calculating what platform it will collide. Uh, okay, so I don't need this PID 0. I will just need the corner, which corner I'm considering, and Yeah, closest. Okay. And then here I'm doing a grid, and I'm going through all the platforms in the grid where I don't need to do that, honestly. So these things are not needed. And then this thing also is not needed. Okay. The check vision, check penetrated vision. I'm gonna do check. I mean, check penetrated vision is also cool. I'm gonna fix that later. Right. First try with check vision collision. So what does this do? I don't have any PID anymore. So what it does, it casts a ray from player position to corner. Cast ray. And I can put a v.g.player.position. Okay, this way I can use the cast ray for enemies too. There is the corner. Okay, and then I need to find the collision between, okay, what platform does the collision, and then I do all of these things later. So collision has to be, has to have a position. It can have distance, it can have the ID, and it can have angles. So I think this is a cool thing. This is okay. It's just the p, it should add goal.pid, right? That position, called this too. Okay. And the angle is always the same, so we don't care about the angle. These three will change. Here, distance 2, this should be called position. Okay, very cool. Now here, test ray, very good. And then there is a get collision. This should be cast, oops, sorry, cast ray from some position. Start position. It's a vec2f, it's a vector, and I will receive a corner. Okay, very cool. Now I don't need the platform I'm not gonna do the platform anymore. And then segments, I'm gonna do the tiles. So I have to go for, oh, okay, so I have to go vision radius here. I have to have the vision radius, by the way. Right? No, I just need to go up to corner. Okay. So there is a start position and then there's a corner. And I have to loop through each step. To do that, I need to create var bucket, I guess, bucket. Bucket is equal to start position. And then I will create some index to go through. Okay, index position. I need it here. And what is this? This is key dot f2 click to I start position divided by world map tile size. This should be key dot map tile size. Okay. Good work now. And then I go through each one of them. And I will see in the tile what are the blocks there. Okay, and okay, now here things become interesting. Okay. So I have to now step forward each time and check. Like there should be there is an angle for the ray. I'm gonna cast the ray in a tiling environment. I have an angle, and then I have to see from the tile that I'm starting, if there is a proceed this. Position, tile settings. Yeah, I actually don't know how to do this. Ooh, the complicated thing. I mean, I have to go learn this, honestly. We have some starting position, and then there is a tile size. We divide it, get some index for the player position, where basically the array has to start. Array starts from this index, tile index, and then it goes to the corner tile index, corner position tile index, and then I have to go through all of these tiles until I reach to the position of the corner. To do that, oh, actually, there is something that I can do. Hello, I see you got new guys that chat today. Yeah, there are some new visitors. How you doing? Welcome back. I mean, One True Blue is still I mean old chatter, but yeah, there are some new people from time to time. Yeah. Hope you're okay too. Yeah, I'm okay. Very good, and I'm working on this project. Basically, I'm trying to change the whole system from grid based to tiling based. Like I'm gonna use tiling. Stop by to see what's going on. Yeah, exactly. So, ooh, you have a meeting in 8 minutes, so good luck for that. Do you have intern or is it like a work meeting? Yeah, no more grids. I mean, I have the grid system, so I put both project links from GitHub inside description, but I'm trying the tiling. Raycaster needs modification. Yeah, the Raycaster will need a lot of modification. Work meeting. Yeah, that's gonna be. Yeah, hope things go well. Yeah, for you. I mean, I don't know what should I say. Like for work meeting, we just say happy time, have a happy time in the work meeting, something like this, I guess. Simple daily, no worries. Yeah, okay, cool. Okay, go well. Oh yeah, I hope to. Yeah, the modification. I need a lot of hope for that and luck. Uh, but it's a work to be done, so I'm gonna cheer up myself and continue working on it until I stop working on it and ask AI to help me. So okay, so I can create steps. Okay, so I'm gonna define right. I define const x to be equal to if corner the position 0 bigger than, I think I need to make this, okay, I'm gonna make this variable. That x, and then I'm gonna remove this and put corner dot position minus, sorry, 0 minus not bucket. Yeah, okay. Work for now. And then okay. So I have my step, but then the step should change a little bit if step 0 is positive, step 0 is equal to t dot world map tile size. Very good. Okay. Else if, is it elif in Zig or else if? It's negative, then it should be negative. Why there's error here? If I'm using else if, I have to use the brackets, curly braces. Go to the end. Carry on, I'll head out now. See you later. See you later. Have fun. There is, so for each step, I will create the tile size and step. There's positive, there's negative, there's positive, there's negative. Stuff is cool. Okay, that's good. And it's 0 otherwise, so there's nothing to do with the 0 case. Now, what does this mean? This means that I can now increase the, so I have some bucket as a position. I will change the position of the bucket with the step. And each time that I go with the step, I will check if I'm right. Okay, I have to go through the angle. No, this is not right. I have to draw this. Sorry, but you would have to take your time and watch my drawing. Okay. We go back here. Okay. This thing is becoming bigger and bigger. I wish I could make this page empty. No. Okay. Okay, so I have the player, and then there is a corner point here. I'm gonna do, yeah, imagine if this is the pointer at the end of this vector, I have to go through that, and there is a tiling system. Okay, how do we draw the tiling system? I wish I could draw all of them together. I can try drawing them by, oh, okay. Okay. I just need to change the color green. Okay. Okay, and then so this, this, do you use GD script on Godot? Yeah, I mean, for learning Godot, I used to use GD script, but I've been considering, so for my other project, I use GD script in Godot, but then sometimes I was considering if I could use a different language, like if I could use also Zig, since I know Zig better. But I think GD script is okay for almost any case in general, unless you're doing something really crazy heavy, um, that you need a more efficient language to do it. There is this the GD zip library, and maybe I can show it here. GD zig, sorry, not zip. Yeah, I have my eyes on this. Zig bindings for Godot 4. And then I want to try it someday. Maybe I could start a new platformer on this thing someday. I don't know. Yeah, and then I could just use the GD script for many things, and then for some stuff I would use Zig. Okay, I have to throw one more. Just one more to make things feel good. Okay. Oh, either make them longer or make this thing, because it's only for drawing purposes. I don't need to have this kind of a big thing. Now I need to know how to cast rays in a tiling system. To do that, I need, so I will need the tiling index here. This one is, I will change the color to, I guess, brown. This has I and J, for example. The index of this tile. And then I will put this as K L. Okay. Now I want to go exactly as this vector goes. I have the direction of this vector, I have the angle. How do I perceive this? So I have to first find there are multiple ways to do this. I guess I will find I can have the equation of this line, for example. This has an equation, right? There was some equation like this, I remember. Plus c equal to 0, that's like the equation of line, right? And then I have a, b, and c for this vector thing. I mean, I can calculate them. There is also y equal to some slope m times x minus x0 and then plus y0. I mean, if I don't want to use that one. I mean, it's the same thing as this one, so let's use this. And then I have this one. This is the position of the beginning is just x0 and y0. And then I will add, so each time I will just, okay, so, oh, this is, yeah, I'm gonna first guess how we do it, and then I'm gonna check how is the algorithm. I think the algorithm is written somewhere, raycasting in time. I'm gonna search for it. So my guess is that, okay, I see. So I think I have to do a horizontal and a vertical separately, right? I mean, my guess would be, so I have a bias because I know this thing, this algorithm, they separate the horizontal and the vertical steps separately. So what we do here, I can add, so each time I have some x, the new x would be x0 plus some step. Now this is in the horizontal step. I'm gonna go horizontally, and each time add one step until I find a collision. Basically, I find a tile that's a block. In the way, either I find something, I return it. If I don't find anything, then the collision will be the corner itself, so it's okay. And then I have to do y0 plus step, and put it in a loop and just add the step until it reaches to the y position here, y of the end, x1 and then y1, and then okay, cool. So to do that, I don't have to do this step. Is the tile size. But then now I have to use this thing each time I add this using this line equation, I guess. I have to use this line equation, I guess. Okay. So first I'm not going to use the angle and see if this thing works like algebraically, and then because the algebraic way seems to be more simpler and faster than the when using angle for angle, I will have to use the sine and cosine stuff. Um, okay, so let's try. I created this step. And then here, and then I have the index position. Cool. Now I create some space, and then I will create some loop. It loop through all horizontal steps. See if there is any collision. And then I have to go loop through all vertical steps, see if there is any collision. So first, looping through horizontal steps. I have to create, I have to go while bucket 0 is less than and 0. I will put var end equal to corner dot position. Okay. As long as this is less than that, what you need to do, bucket 0 to add the step, right? Mm, okay, so bucket shouldn't be start. It should be starting indices. With this one. Okay. And this is start. Okay. Okay, this is start. And then var step 0 would be equal to, is there sign? I think there should be math. That's sign. The sign of step 0 multiplied by c dot world map. And then here is space. Okay. Okay, what does sign return, by the way? Can it return 0? What does return? What returns -1, 0, or 1? Supports integer, floating type, characters of integer, float type, unsigned integer types will always return a 0 or 1 parameter. So it will return 0 if the step 0 is 0. So that's cool. Oh, okay, sorry, I just didn't change the view. You're only seeing whatever is there. Okay. And then I will, what do I do now? So I have some bucket. I will do add step. Okay, and I will calculate y. So const y equal to bucket 0 multiplied by d dot world size, d dot world map dot time size, and then okay, so this would be, sorry, this is x. But now to get our y, I need to calculate direction. Okay, so how do we do this? Direction. So direction is corner minus start, basically. Oh yeah, that's direction. Okay, I can define this to be this is direction. Corner minus start, and then I define const step, which is equal to cd.math.sign direction, and then multiply that by c.world map exactly world map dot tile size set to okay. Now that I have my steps, and then I have the direction, so I have to make the direction normalized, I guess. Okay. How do we make this normalized? Don't remember what we do. It was equal to dir divided by. Okay, I have to first calculate the length. Const length, direction length is equal to. Okay, I don't think that exists in Zik, so I will have to calculate it by hand. Here 0. Okay, it's cd.math.qrt, exactly that. Okay, if their length is 0, return null. Good. Put it in the beginning. Very good. Now that I have that, what I need to do is to okay, so this direction now is normalized. No, it's not. Okay, I have to do the normalization here. Sure. Exactly. So this will normalize direction, which means that we have our y now, because I can say y is equal to 0 multiplied by then x minus start 0 and then here I will put a plus start point. So that should be the position of y for the new point. Okay. Okay, it's just that, okay, so step should be plus or minus 1, right? It's just a sign. There is the corner position minus start. Substitute path, sign, direction. Okay, this should be just direction step. I mean sign of direction. Shouldn't add that. And then there is the bucket. Bucket is some integer index of file. File index, I guess. I can just name it as the index bucket. Remember, it's an index. And then we do multiply index bucket to world map tile size. Okay, and then we have it in sorry, and then we have the direction, and then we have the x minus start 0 plus start 1. That should be our y. And then we will see what is y's tile index. To get that, oh, by the way, index bucket is integer, so I have to make this dot I to rect to f, or I2 f32, sorry, 32 working. Okay. Now that I have a new x and y, I know what is x. It's just the index bucket. For y is that's f2y32, I guess. I guess I have to do const y index f2y32, yes, okay. And then I have to check if read.g.wmap.tileset get, and then I will pass in index bucket 0 and y index if this thing exists, call it entry. Okay. Now the entry has a key and a right. I don't remember. So there should be. I think there should be some key value, right? I don't remember how did the hashtag thing, hashmap things work in Zig. And then I have to see if value, which is the tile that type is that wall. And then if it is, we gotta stop here. I have to say break and then continue the loop through the vertical stuff. It's just that this key value stuff, I have to fix it. I don't know if it's work. There are loads of other stuff that I have to fix also. The vertical steps also needs to be fixed. And all this segment stuff, I don't need them anymore. Yeah, okay. For these things, I just don't need them anymore. If collision segment to segment. I'm gonna leave it for now, and I will change these things a bit later. I'm gonna have to also check for some of the stuff, like how to use the hash map when we get the values. Okay, I think it's okay for now. I will go and rest a little bit. I will be back in almost 3 hours, around 14 Paris time. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe and like the video if you have not already done that. I would it would help us a lot. And I hope that you have a good time, you have a good day, good night. See you again. Bye bye.